You're listening to 80s Movie Tunes, and it's time for another question from our listeners. Thanks for the great show, Dr. Zirkus. Your theories are far out, but I'm worried about the aliens. Stephen Hawking said if they're anything like we are, they'll probably rule over us with an iron fist or something. Ah, yes, the good Dr. Hawking. You could never meet a more paranoid maniac. Although he does have a point. If they're anything like us, that's exactly what they do. But if they're anything like us, I very much doubt they'd survive their own mutually assured destruction. They'll either have intelligent people in charge, or they'll have This is 80s Movie Tunes, and I'm your host, Dr. Zirkus, astrophysicist, extraterrestrialist, and ufologist. Just kidding, that last one is made up. But I am a wild speculationist, and I'll be sharing some of my keener insights with you later in the show, so stay tuned.
Square Packages, the packaging specialists, are proud to present a box on both your houses. The untold story of the invention of the box and the family rivalry that nearly destroyed it. It's a tale about opening your heart, finding acceptance, and inventing the most efficient means of shipping and packaging that mankind has ever known. Proving that to find what's in your soul, you have to look outside the box and into another box, which is a house, your home. And that truly is the greatest box of all. Tune in every Wednesday at 8 for this once-in-a-week time television event, A Box on Both Your Houses, presented by Square Packages, the packaging specialists.
Dinosaurus, the only restaurant where the servers are dinosaurs. Our animatronics are so real, you'll think a T-Rex is serving you T-bone, a pterodactyl is serving you teriyaki, that a brontosaurus is serving you chili dogs. Every dish is an archaeological find, like our stegogetti, our Raptor Burger Rex, or the pile of crumbled sticky brownies adventurously named the Dino Droppings. So, take a trip into the wild at Dinosaurus. You can dine in or dine-o.
We're talking crop circles this hour. Obviously a hoax, but a hoax on who and by whom? Is it the government playing tricks on the rednecks? Or is it the rednecks playing jokes on the government? Or maybe it's a little of both. You tell me. Either way, you guys are embarrassing us in front of the aliens. They're probably watching, you know, and you're making us look like a bunch of goofs. This is Dr. Zirkus, and you're listening to 80s Movie Tunes.
Your love is so contagious.
First of all, just to set the record straight, no, I've never been probed, to the best of my recollection. But more generally, where does that question even come from? It's like the human mind's worst fantasy. They lay you down on their operating table and what? Something sensible, like take tissue and bone samples, remove your skull? No. Probing. Probing is a purely human obsession. We got stores, whole aisles and display cases full of products dedicated to the endeavor. That's on us. That's not the aliens being weird. If they wanted to reach out, they'd be doing it telepathically. Although if that's what's on your mind, I can see why they don't. You're listening to 80s movie tunes. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Zirkis, sharing some groundbreaking new theories on air with you today. We'd be turning the world on its head if people would only listen. But you're here and you're sort of listening, and that's good enough for me. So stay tuned.
We are the law. Accountant. The law accounting. I know what you're thinking. Are we lawyers? Are we accountants? Well, it's a complicated question, probably requiring the services of a lawyer and an accountant. Is that us? Well, what do you think? Seems to me that there's a lot of you out there who might need the use of the law accounting. But that's not legal advice. That's life advice. In fact, we're legally barred from providing legal advice. The law accounting. Officially unlicensed since 2005.
At Akio, we've been making the best in mobile phones for over 20 years. How did we get there? By putting ringtones in every commercial that make you think your phone is ringing. Whether you have a new phone, an old phone, or just leave it on vibrate, we make sure you always hear your phone in our commercials. It's our way of saying, we hear you. So don't be silenced when opportunity calls, pick it up. It's for you. Akio Mobile.
You're listening to 80s Movie Tunes, and it's time for another question from our listeners. Thanks, Dr. Z. Your theories about aliens are really interesting. But you know what Richard Feynman said? UFOs come from the irrational efforts of terrestrial intelligence, not the rational efforts of extraterrestrial intelligence. Yes, well, it sounds like he's either overestimating terrestrial rationality or underestimating extraterrestrial irrationality. And either way, he should know better. But all that talk about UFOs is beside the point. The key to space travel and intergalactic communication is locked inside the human mind. We'll be talking more about that next hour. For now, let's get back to the music. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Dr. Zirkus. We've been talking about aliens. And as we've established, if aliens are out there, they'd obviously be trying to reach us telepathically. But we're still living in the Dark Ages. You admit to anything unusual, your professional credibility is finished. Now, I'm not saying just because you hear voices it's probably aliens. You might just be crazy. That can go either way, which is precisely why we need to build a proper telescope. It's really too bad people consider all this fringe science and don't take it seriously. Oh well, at least nobody's getting burned at the stake. You're listening to 80s Movie Tunes. We're unlocking the secrets of the universe here today on 80s Movie Tunes, so keep it tuned right here.
Coffee, fuel of the modern economy. The age-old Italian tradition of burning beans and drinking the bitter bean juice. At Burn Bean Coffee, our environment is perfect for all of your work needs. There's no better place to be distracted than the Burn Bean Coffee Shop and Cafe. Our coffee technicians are trained to make a variety of coffees and sugary coffee-themed drinks just as you like it, all while generally making more noise than anyone could reasonably ignore. So drink up and let the productivity flow. Sippy sip, coffee fans. Burn Bean Coffee. Get it while it's hot. Due to recent court actions, we are required to warn against the drinking of hot coffee.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible, and now we've succeeded in letting you drive the undrivable. The Jubilee Dementia. The car engineers said shouldn't be made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
Dr. Zirkus with you here today. As most of our regular listeners know, I hold a degree in astrophysics, but my primary focus is interdimensional mental projection. You see, you can't use physical energy to travel the stars. They're just too far away. You've got to go there with your mind. And I don't mean metaphorically, like in your mind you can ride a unicorn. I mean geographically, like you're there for real for all intents and purposes. It's like what they used to call astral projection, but without all the mumbo-jumbo. It's all science. The human mind, you see, produces an extremely powerful analog signal, but obviously at extremely low amplitude. Otherwise, it would blow you apart. But if we amplify and filter the signal properly, well, let's just say the sky would no longer be the limit. You're listening to 80s Movie Tunes. Now it's time for another song.